It actually released. The day before is real. And it released. And I decided to play it for myself. This game costs $40. And it's actually worse than you can think. It is a full-blown scam, a misadvertisement. There is so much wrong with this game, and the negative reviews, at one point the game was sitting at 50% of positive reviews, which is lower than Flatout 3, which is one of the worst rated games on Steam, and the only game that was below the day before was Overwatch 2. Right now it kind of jumped up, but it's still on overwhelmingly negative reviews. And yes, the game was advertised as a open world survival game with zombies. There were cars, there were a lot of different weapons, a lot of different things that you could have done. And this is how the game is. The world in this game is actually empty. This is the zombie-less zombie apocalypse. There is no zombies. Through my entire game that I was playing, I happened to stumble upon 4 zombies in total, and to be completely honest, it's hard to even find players. And the game was at 38k players and went down over a single day to 8k players. And I was playing when the game was at like 10,000 players, active players right now, only on Steam. And I was having a problem on some servers to actually stumble upon real players that would, I don't know, I would be able to shoot them or they would shoot me. So I was going around and searching for loot, which for the most time you genuinely go out and find rubbish. The rubbish that you are supposed to take with you and sell. There is no weapons to be found. There is nothing valuable to be found. The whole game is designed of you taking on the quest, going to the location, finding the items in question, and coming back through the evacuation point with those items. There are 2 evacuation points on the map, and let me tell you, these evacuation points are always too far from your objective, because evacuation points are outside of the city. And the missions take place in the city. So you genuinely, when you are going to find every item that you are supposed to find, you have to run like 30 minutes throughout the entire city just to get to the evacuation point, because there are also evacuation points that will take you out, but without a backpack, so I assume the whole loot is going to stay behind. There is no vaulting in the game. And this is a huge problem, because at one point I managed to actually break the game. You see, I jumped over the fence, and I didn't take under consideration that if there is no vaulting and there is no stones and stuff like this that I could actually step on and give myself a boost, I couldn't jump back. So I left the game, I reloaded the game, and I'm getting spawned right at the same place. I assumed maybe I'm going to lose every equipment that I have and they are going to spawn me in base. No, they spawn me in this exact point where I have no ability to leave. And there is a really huge problem on some servers to stumble upon real players. So I had no way to, I don't know, call someone and get shot and respawn. No, I genuinely had to abandon the game, delete my character, and create the new one, because the game allows you to only create 1 character per account. I had to delete my character and create the new one and start the game from the beginning. Basically watching the unskippable intro, skipping all the dialogues later on, and start basically from scratch. If you are going to be killed and you have no money, you are fucked. There is no weapons to be found throughout the game. I visited few locations, one that I assumed would actually have some guns, a police station. There is not a single gun on the map to be looted from the city. There is none. If you are going outside and you want to find something that has actual value, as I mentioned previously, you are not going to find anything. The only thing you can do if you are out of money, go out, collect a bunch of garbage, come back and sell everything to the vendors. And this is your only way. Because let me tell you, and this is a heavy kicker, there is no melee in the game. You cannot punch anything, you cannot use any knife, any white weapon. There is nothing. You have no actual gun. You are fucked. And yeah, this is a game about zombie. In the zombie apocalypse, that you can't even eliminate zombies without making any noise. But okay, aren't the quests good? Because you actually can do the quests. The quests are go to this location and collect 3 things and come back. And at one point I collected all 3 things. I wanted to come back, but I got shot while going to the extraction point. So I took on the same quest and I went back to this location. And let me tell you, I was able to search everything that was unsearched by me previously. I found 2 out of 3 items, meaning the game was unable to spawn 3 items because there was no, there wasn't like 3 unopened shelves or backpacks or whatever you want to search in the game to spawn the 3rd item. So I had 2 items, the 3rd item never spawned, and this is a problem throughout the game because as you are going through the map, you actually don't have loot around you. Everything at some locations is basically searched through. So the game doesn't spawn new items to be looted on the regular basis. Sometimes you are going to be traversing through the map on some servers and there's going to be nothing to be found. This creates this like, why am I supposed to play this game? If one person is going through the entire map, like one group is gonna go through the entire map, you're getting spawned on the same map and they search through everything, you will find nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the one thing that you may be lucky enough to find is going to be something that they left behind because they were overpacked and they couldn't lift anymore. This is how this game is done. This was advertised as an open world survival game and they created basically an extraction shooter. People point out that this is a poor version of Tarkov, and I never played Tarkov. I wasn't interested in playing Tarkov, but I played The Division, and The Division is one of my favorite games. And I see a lot of things that were quote unquote inspired by The Division. This game is unfinished, and the early access label on it doesn't excuse anything. This game is empty. There is nothing to do in the game, and if you have 2 or 3 friends with you, you may be able to actually get some fun out of it, but more of a every game is fun with friends. Right now, this game is refunded by mostly everyone that is eligible for a refund on Steam. Some refunds are even given out to the people with 3 or even 4 hours of the game. There was a 50 gigabyte patch that fixed few things, because there was a problem with every car alarm going off as you were just passing by the car, and the second one was with the zombies dealing no damage to the players. So they fixed that, but still, the game is empty. There is no justification for this game to be 40 bucks. And yeah, this also happened to me. Right now, what you see on the screen, some players are able to, I don't know, inflate themselves. I don't know how to even call it. The guy is basically like a balloon. And yeah, this happened to me two times. To other people in the middle of the extraction zone. Also, when you shoot these people, they are going to scale back or fly away. I genuinely don't understand. Yes, I wasn't expecting anything. Creators of this atrocity went back to their YouTube account and they deleted every single video that was showing off the game that was sold to people, because nothing of these advertisements, trailers, gameplays that they were showing to us is in the actual game. So everyone that is able to refund this game, refund it. I don't think this is going to get better. Like, if your game is going from 38k players to 8k players, this is actually a problem. This game is not going to live very long. I'm actually willing to say that this may even close faster than Babylon's Fall. I'm willing to say this is going to be the case. This is an disaster, and the frame rate, the performance is all over the place. No matter what you're going to have in your PC, you are going to experience a massive frame losses. And what I noticed, these frame losses happen differently depending on the servers. So on one server, my game is going 40 frames. The settings don't matter. I can set the game to low, to medium, to high, to fantastic, because they have fantastic setting from the company's name. And the game is going to work the same. In fact, when I lowered the settings to like medium, it started having worse frames than on high on fantastic. So I went back, but on one server the game is going 40 frames, and then I'm jumping to the different server and the game is going steady 60 with some hiccups to 59. And then I'm going to the different server because my map and journal and stuff like this stopped working, and the game goes back to 45 frames and doesn't jump even to 50. And this was notorious with this game. So I don't know how they fucked it up. I didn't encounter anyone driving any car, because even on Steam you have these Lamborghinis riding around, and yeah, there's no cars in the game. Like, there's nothing in the game. The game is an empty shell that is sold to you, and give me money because maybe we are going to develop something in the future. And in here you actually see the footage from the moment when I noticed that there is no shadows for a characters, only for the guns. Also, I forgot to mention, you have your plot and you can build your house. I don't know what's the purpose of this, but you can. Basically a Sims minigame in the game. Who didn't expect this? Everyone expected this game to go like this, and that is it. This game actually released. I played it, I gave it a chance, and I actually got my refund. And there are people who were unfortunate enough to wait like 2 or 3 hours to even get to the server to try the game. And the dude entered the server, played for a little bit, and on 4 hours mark, Steam actually refused to refund him the game, but I saw people actually receiving a full-blown refunds even when they spent like 4+ hours in the game. This rarely happens, but with this game it actually does. Every server population is on high somehow, but every server you're going to enter, you are going to have hard time finding players. When you're going to the extraction zone, the game spawns you also in the random places. At one point it spawned me next to the people, and I just went out of the alley into the road, and there's a guy running towards me. He didn't see me, so I shot him. Turns out I actually stole him, I don't know, like 5 hours of game worth of loot. Because the game spawns you even when you have genuinely people right next to you. You just have to exit the alley and you have the guy basically running to you on a silver plate just to shoot him. Shooting mechanics in this game are also trash, and it's even worse than Z1 Battle Royale, which is an achievement because I think Z1 has one of the worst shooting mechanics in the history of shooting games, and this one is somehow worse. This game is a joke. It was never supposed to release like this, and it was never supposed to release this game. And the reviews are savage. The reviews for the game are actually savage. People are saying, oh yeah, I know right now. The day before title is because the game was done day before they released it. Or, oh, the day before is actually real. I wish it wasn't. These types of reviews you are going to see on this Steam page, and it's hilarious to read through them. But I'm glad for everyone that actually got the refund, because this is one of the biggest misadvertisements I have seen. The game is broken. It doesn't have the actual things that it should have. Yeah, it actually should have some of the features that would be expected from this type of game, and it doesn't. So that is going to be all for me. This game is a big fucking trash, and it will be on many, many lists for the worst games of 2023, even if it is not fully released. That is all for me. Bye.